nice to be here, and I want to show you the new opportunities of Virtuemart, and for the people who don't know what is Virtuemart. Short to myself, I was born some time ago, a long time ago, and studying in engineering, not in programming or something like that, and I made a cross bridge.
Max, speak a little louder.
A little bit louder. Moment. So, better? Better? Okay. I started to use Virtuemart just for my own shop. I wanted to sell programs. And I started to develop a serious shipment tool and things like that. And in Virtuemart there was no development anymore. There was no leading 2 years ago. So I started to fork Virtuemart. And after some time, after drawing half of the developers away that were left, Søren, the former leader, said to me, Max, go on, take the leadership and make the new Virtuemart. I have some little bit of history about Virtuemart. Virtuemart was before the open PHP shop, and Søren Eberhard made a bridge to Mambo. They call it a Mambo shop, Mambo PHP shop there. And then Joomla was forking Mambo, and Søren said, okay, we need a new name. So he invented the name Virtuemart. That means the virtual market. So, and with Joomla, Virtuemart can become one of the most spread and very big e-commerce systems here in the world. So what we are doing, we write a program for internet shops so that you can download it for free, you can install it on your web server, and then you can directly start to sell your articles. It is also interesting for people who sell completed shops to shop owners, administrators, freelancers, like that. The interesting thing is on Virtuemart that we have already more than 600 extensions. There is a big third-party community, developers who write extensions, plugins for Virtuemart. There are really a lot of payment plugins, maybe hundreds payment plugins. There are a lot of shipment plugins for each country. There are shipment plugins for DHL, for postfix, whatever. So another thing is that Virtuemart has a very international community like Joomla. We have shops all over the world. You don't have them, but you see them. We have communities all over the world. One of the biggest communities is in Indonesia and not here in Europe. And it's very interesting, especially for people who don't have a lot of money. For example, when you want to use Magento, it's another shop system, you pay 3,000 euro a year. Yeah? Virtuemart costs first nothing. Then people start, hey, I want this feature, I want this feature, I want this feature. Then they start to buy extensions, and the extensions for Virtuemart become quite cheap. We know that other shop systems sell their payment systems for 200 euro, for example, and most time the payment plugins for Virtuemart are just free. So when you want to go into the e-commerce business, when you want to learn how to set up a shop, when you want to sell, when you just want to try, hey, could I use it? Makes it sense? You don't have to invest a lot of money, you can just start with it, and you can evolve your shop with the time when you get money by your shop. So the homepage is virtuemart.net, and it is also interesting that Virtuemart is used in small companies, like the single store here in Athens just selling something. Maybe even the pizza delivery service is using Virtuemart. we knew there are pizza delivery services using Virtuemart. And there are also big companies like IKEA. They use Virtuemart in South Arabia. One of the biggest German magazines use Virtuemart. So it fits for small companies and it fits for big companies. So we asked ourselves, what is the essence of an e-commerce system? What is something what everyone wants and everyone needs? So the first thing is the flexibility. It's impossible to know all ideas that people have. For example, coupon system. Or there are really a lot of different ideas to use e-commerce in the real world. It's not just selling stuff. You can have shopper groups. People want, for example, that you can configure a t-shirt with your own sign on it, with the size, the color, and all that. And then you just press on the button, and the manufacturer is sending the t-shirt directly to the customer. So the shop don't need a store of its own. This, for example, is one of the ideas. Or the multi-vendor complex. So our first goal is to be flexible. The next goal is to have to reach a high speed, yeah, because that makes it cheap. When you use other e-commerce systems, you often need a complete own server with at least 4 processors, with a big cache that it is running. Virtuemart is running even on this small netbook. It's not running very fast, but it is running. So this boost makes it powerful. We have the speed, we have the flexibility. Speed without flexibility doesn't help. When you have the flexibility, but no speed, it is too expensive. Just for testing, just for trying. And when your shop grows, you need a cloud. Yeah, really big shops use a cloud. They have 4, 5, 6, 7 servers. Amazon, for example, I think they have 50 servers for Europe or so. Yeah. So the question is now, how do we get this flexibility? We often had that the people wanted, for example, a bunch of features. Yeah. A lot of features. Yeah, this makes it flexible. We have this feature, this feature, this feature, this feature. But when the people when they start with the shop, they just see a lot of features and they don't know what is really important. And the next problem is the more features you build into the core, it slows the system. It goes slower and slower and slower. So we decided to make a small, fast core, and then you can adjust the system to your needs. You can install plugins and to extend it, so you actually pay for the resources you want. Because every plugin, everything you install extra slows down. Also in Joomla. Every plugin, when you might want to use Joomla fast, deactivate every plugin component you can find, you don't need, and then it's going faster. The other idea is, it's a problem with the overboarded administration system and the features. When you have a lot of features, you have an overboarded administration system, it all slows down, you can't see a lot. You don't know what you have to do. For example, we had in Virtuemart 1, we had product types, custom variants, and variants. The people asked, what should I do? What should I take? Yeah? But later, and as I said, tools for every possibility. They add tools, and they add tools, and they add tools. At the end, you have 50 tools, and the beginner, again, don't know which tools I should use. He has to read 1 week, 2 weeks just to understand how he should start with it. So we say, none of these. You don't need none of this. The administration center should be small, lightweight, so that we can have so that we have a fast system. Actually, we can receive that with freedom. The freedom of low resources. When you don't need a lot of resources, it makes you free. You can just try it in Africa or in India or on a small provider. It works. You don't need a big cloud just to get a shop running. It should be scalable. What I said before with the business to business, and with a small shop, there exists the cases that the son says to his father, come on, let's sell something in the internet, and the son can start with it, or the daughter. Next thing is to achieve the scalability, we make it modular. Modular and with plugins. And so we achieve the flexibility. And people often think, yeah, cool, it's open source, I can change everything. I can do it like I want it. No. Open source does not provide that automatically. Yeah. We need a sophisticated structure to force a bit the people to, that's it, freedom, force a bit, just a bit, yeah, to work within the system. So we have a concept MVC that's used in Joomla also, and we have the concept objective-oriented programming. And with this concept, it is possible that we can work together. One people is doing that, and another person is doing this. They can work autonomous without knowing what the other is doing, but it works later together. There's no communication needed every time between these persons. So these patterns also help for maintaining. There's a problem, security bug fix or something like that, you can add it very easily when something is changing. For example, the Joomla AP, for example, Joomla 1.6, the programmers will know what I mean. It makes it easy because we change only one file and not 20 files as before in flow-oriented programming. So the objective-oriented programming also lowers the resources. It means that you can have with a cheap server a fast page, and this is actual your maintaining costs. You have to calculate how much costs my server per month. It's like the rent of your shop, of your bridge and stone shop. And this objective-oriented programming also speeds up development time. We don't have to think every time about the stuff we already solved. Flow-oriented programming often means that you copy-paste things you already did. And when you want to change something, then you have to change it at 100 places again. So we use these patterns to have more free time for creative processes, so that we are not every time just doing maintaining and finding security bugs and fixing them or so. No, we have time to develop new ideas. Yeah, and of course, this is resulting in a stable and secure code. I have a nice example for that. We made an abstract controller. I know there are some programmers here, so just, and we added now every time the question for the token. The token should prevent cross-site scripting. So we noticed, oh, we forgot that, the token, we forgot that, the token. With abstract object-oriented programming, we can't forget that. So it is rising security, and even third-party developers must follow these rules. So when other people write for an extension for the shop, it's not easy to make it unsecure. It happens often that the people use a Virtuemart 1 is secure, they install another extension, it goes unsecure because the extension developer didn't know what he has to do that is secure. So, a little bit some technique now. We use it also, yeah, I already said, security and the objective-oriented programming is connected. In earlier times, Virtuemart 1 had an own login system. It was just not using the Joomla framework. We use now the Joomla framework, very heavy, and we have some methods to rise up the security. For example, the models set itself, the ID. We have a lot of immutable objects. You can just create them and ask them, but you can't set states. That should make more secure. There's a problem with the global variables. Everyone can change them. So when the people just upload a picture to your shop, they can hack your shop, for example. But not with object programming. Makes it not so easy. So, and also very important is that all our security features work server-side. We know that the users can manipulate the JavaScript, they can manipulate the post data, so everything works on the server side to make it secure. So then we have the presentation is based on the Virtuemart 1.1, and this is showing the opposite of Virtuemart 2, what we changed so that people can see what we do better now. We have now a vendor-based shops. This helps to use multi-vendor later. Multi-vendor means something like Amazon, for example. Amazon does not sell a lot themselves. It was a start. Most people who sell their stuff on Amazon are not Amazon themselves. Same thing is eBay. With Virtuemart 2, you can just write a plugin for auctioning, and in the moment you have an eBay system. Or maybe people know something like davanda.com. They can sell a lot of people their stuff. The shop owner just get a little bit commission. So you don't need to set up your own store when you just want to use multi-vendor. So then there's another thing, we have a rule system for tax discounts and more, even commission, duties, profit, margin, affiliate stuff. This makes it easy to adjust changes, and your tax system in your country changes. You can change it very fast. You can make discounts with the rule system for shopper groups, clouds. I come to this later. The plugin system. The new plugin system makes it very flexible. You can use the plugins already written for Joomla. These are not 600, there's of thousands of plugins. I think it's 6,000 or something like that, is the number. So you can use them directly also in the Virtuemart. Then we have a new template system. The old template system of Virtuemart was an own template system. Every Joomla developer had to learn a new template system, and they speak about the old template system. The new template system is just using the Joomla template system. So it is a lot easier and a lot cheaper to make a new template for a store. So we have our own media handling also. When you want to sell videos, for example, you don't want that the people see the real video you want to sell. You want that they see an intro, trailer, not more. The media handling is at the moment only written for images, but it is extendable to handle every kind of media you can imagine. PDF, videos, zip files, exe files, whatever. And we have a JavaScript loader that reduces the time loading a page. This is very interesting for third-party developers. They just can use the JavaScript loader. They don't have to write their own stuff. There's a small demo. Yeah, it's really, it works, okay. First of all, let's get a little bit more space that we see something. And I want to show here some of the concepts we use for the media handler. This is a little bit strange at the first moment. You can add images here, choose another image. Now the product has already 2 images. Usual, nothing special. Yeah? Special is this area. This area shows the attributes of the showbill. And when people upload their pictures for their product, they upload the first picture, they enter the description and that here, and then they upload a new picture. But it's almost the same picture, it's just from the left, from the right, something like that. And the idea is, you see the information of the showbill, you can change it. Then you go to upload here, choose another file. This is Joomla, yeah? This is Joomla. It's done by the framework Joomla. You can choose another file and upload it. I don't do it now because tomorrow's a workshop and then I'm showing it. So, the plugin system. The plugin system, yeah. What was before, what is now? Before, we had an own plugin system. Hard to maintain. Maybe 5 people in the world knew how it worked. And we use now the normal Joomla plugin system. So, only to understand what means that in money. Before we had maybe 100 developers for Virtuemart on the world. Now we can use every Joomla developer on the world. These are maybe 10,000, yeah, not 100. So it lowers the price for customization, for adding some features, and this is good for flexibility and for maintaining. And the trick we install the plugins system-wide by an administrator, super administrator, and then they are configurable by every vendor itself. Yeah? And that is new, and I didn't saw that before because most people use their own plugin system or they use the Joomla plugin system. But we have a mix. We use the Joomla plugin system for the maintenance, for installing, deinstalling, all of that. And then we use Virtuemart itself to configure this plugin. And then another new thing is that we have a centralized calculator. The centralized calculator should ensure that we have always the same result. People who already know Virtuemart 1.1, Virtuemart 1.1 growed and evolved and was flow-orientated written, and they made calculations sometimes here, sometimes there, and so on. When we wanted to change something, it was horrible. And the most horrible thing is that the PayPal Express of Virtuemart 1.1 is actually doing wrong calculation. Customer sees the right calculation, but PayPal got the wrong calculation. This is gone now with Virtuemart 2. We every time use the same calculator. The calculator is, of course, we use it to display the product prices. We use it to calculate the whole invoice. It is used to calculate the payment stuff and so on. And it makes it very easy. I show later with the multi-currency system. You can use, that's later, that's right. Just one thing left is, you can see here the different prices we calculate for every product. It sounds a little bit silly to calculate 10 prices for every product, but yeah, the flexibility. Some people want to show you spare this amount of money. Other people just want to show you spare 20%. Other people want to show, yeah, and so on. Business to business don't want to see taxes. So we calculate these prices, and after that we decide what to display to the customer. Not we, the shop owner decides. So, this is a multi-currency system. It works for products. Every product has its own currency. Every rule has its own currency. Windows has their own currency, and shoppers. So how to handle that? First, everything we get, we calculate into the shop currency. And then we display it in the shopper currency. So, what means that with the calculation rules combined? That means with the calculation rules combined. Okay, I sell something, I buy something from China. The product price is Chinese currency. Then we sell it here in Europe. We have to pay European taxes. And the shopper comes from India, maybe, or from US. And this is also, it's already calculated correctly. It's already working. So for a global system, yeah, we need global currency system. So here we come a little bit closer to the rule system. I'll show a little demo. Yeah, with the rule system you can make discounts per category, per shopper group, per country even that, yeah. So when a shopper comes from another country, not your own country for example, he has to pay more or has to pay less. You can make discounts for seasons. I know actually there are shops, they pay employees just to change the discount per product. Instead of changing all products and do this 5 days, with Virtuemart 2 you can just say, okay, this category is now discounted. For example, winter clothes, the summer, or vice versa. And we can also calculate with the profit and with the multi-vendor system commission. You can do, this is the goal, the complete calculation in the e-commerce system itself. So there's also a demo, small one. Okay. This is a list of the discounts and rules I just set up. This is a US tax. Discount for all hand tools, it's just a fantasy thing, yeah? And here we just add 20%. There we lower the price for €2 and that's fixed. Now we take a look on the, for example, on the discount for all hand tools so that you can see how does it look like. You can say if it's published or not. That means if it's working or not. You can have a description. That is for the customer. You can, there we have a lot of different entry points. Should the manipulation should be before tax, after tax, just for the bill, without bill. People maybe know the problem with the rounding of a lot of small articles. Then it is better to use the price modifier per tax, per bill. You can also use it for different categories, multi-categories. You can use it for different customer groups. You can use it for different states. Funny thing is the states is the countries. Just to show our method how we do stuff. You can choose a state. This is meant for the shipment. When your shopper comes from another country, then it looks, what should I modify? Yeah, the rest thing is not so important. So Next, take a closer look at the template system. The trick of the template system is that you can use for every category another template. You can use for every product another template. And for the people who know a little bit better, you can override even all layouts. There exist no file pages anymore for the, as you know, Virtuemart 1.1. And this makes it very funny because you can say, okay, I sell, for example, clothes for the sea. You can make a sea template, the beach, sun, stuff like that. When you sell winter clothes for skiing in the north, you can change your template again. So when the user is clicking from one category to another category, he sees the template you want to. It's quite easy to handle, and yeah, there's only a small problem for the technical guys here. The layout overrides must be in the Joomla default template, but this is just something you have to know. It does not lower the flexibility. Ah yes, and the mail is also overridable. So when you want to change your email, you just need to install a template. You don't need to hack before anymore. No. Another big problem is for all e-commerce systems is the cart. It's unbelievable, but up to 50% of customers stop shopping due to the cart. Maybe you know it yourself, when the cart makes strange things, you have to enter stuff again and again, or you lead it, you're leaded in some process, you don't understand, you see, or you have to enter 4 stages, and I'm now at stage number 1. Oh no, I don't know something. I want to buy this shop, it's stupid. They changed the shop. There are really 50% of the customers stop shopping by the cart problem. And now we have a cart that's always stored in the session. And you have accessible links. We want also to add the one-click checkout, like I think was it someone in America has a one-click patent on it, but we are in Europe, so we can do all the stuff. What does the card? What does it? It shows you the invoice. It's like a contract. People often don't know. The card, at the end, you see, you press confirm, and then you know, okay, I ordered it. It's like a contract. So it should show all information, and you wrote it that way so that it is quite easy to customize it. Just with another layout, then it's customized. So now we have a new thing. I already said before that in Virtuemart 1.1 we had product variants, custom variants, and product types, and that. We have now custom fields. And the trick is on these custom fields, they make the computer configurator possible. What means the computer configurator? There's even guys who want to use this for pizza. Yeah? The pizza configurator. You say, I want to sell a pizza, then you say the size of the pizza, then you say what you want on the pizza, extra cheese, extra onions, extra olives, whatever. Or for computer, this is, I buy the computer XYZ, and then I want another hard disk. I don't want this hard disk shipped with it. I want another hard disk. Or I want Windows with it. Or no, I don't want Windows with it. Like when you go to Dell, yeah, Dell.com, then you have a computer configurator. You can click and drop your computer you want together. And this is done with the custom fields. And it's a really, I must admit myself, an amazing feature. We rewrote it 5 weeks ago, and always, again, surprised as I made the demo for this conference, what it can do and how powerful it is. you have your categories. That's just a sample data. You have a log-on. You have your currency. At the moment, I have the British pound. I have the euro, but that shows the British pound. Now I change the currency. Okay. There's it. You see? The format of the currency itself changed also. Not only the sign, because we found out every currency has its own format. So we have almost every currency is hacked already in the tables with the ISO code, ISO letters. And this now is using the European Central Bank for currency exchange rate. We even added that you can add your own currencies, because imagine the thing. You bought something from US in autumn. It makes no sense to use in the calculation the same exchange rate as we have now, yeah? Because the exchange rate changed a lot the last half year. So you can define your own currencies with your own exchange rate for the moment you bought, for example, the product. And then you can say this product should be calculated anytime with my currency, with my exchange rate. You can do them unpublished or not published so that the other people, the customers, don't see that. Yeah? They see only 4 currencies. Just a short view on the power tools. Now just another template. This is what I mean with template changing per category. Yeah? Completely changed. Currencies on that side and not on that side. We even have a template system that we can change the side. So, for example, Arabic languages or Hebrew, who are from the other side, can be used. Now I show my last picture, my last demo. And it's a good work, like expected. Maybe I'm not patient enough. Clicking too fast. Yeah. This is an example of the custom fields. We can choose different sizes. You see, the price is in pound, yeah? It's not in dollar or euro or whatever. It's directly translated to pounds. You can choose another price is changing, another size, price is changing. You can say, oh, I want a big shovel with it. You can add it. And you can add another shovel. There's a pizza configurator, yeah? And then we can just add it to the card. Okay, last demo. And the workshop I show more. So, short thing, we have a new release cycle. Every 2-3 months we want to push out a new version. We make a mix of time-based and feature-based. We start feature-based and then we set a deadline to remove the features we don't make. Yeah? And last page is our project for the next time. Add more calculation possibilities, add things like you buy a 6-pack, then it's cheap. When you buy only 3 beers, you have to divide the 6-pack, it's not cheap anymore. Yeah? You know it maybe. More hooks for plugins. And the multi-vendor system, we want to, yeah, multi-vendor is really, there are 10 different models of multi-vendor. Most people don't know that. When they think multi-vendor, they think eBay, Davanda, that's it. Other few people think about multi-store system. But you can even multi-vendor use just to observe your own employees. Yeah? And we want to add a more widely scalable support for the beginners and for the people who already working a long time with Virtuemart. Okay.
If there are going to be any auction tools for Virtuemart, because I think it needs more development on the core of Virtuemart to be implemented. That's the first question. And the second question is if there's going to be implemented probably with Joomla 1.6 or further down the way, a way to make backend users use only Joomla, like per se have a user that can see only Joomla, only Virtuemart, sorry, in the backend and nothing else. Nothing from the article manager, nothing from the media manager or something like that.
This is the multi-vendor complex. For multi-vendor, we just want to add that. That a vendor can go in the backend maybe, or maybe we simulate that and you just see it in the front end. So that you have full access as a vendor to your own stuff, but not more.
And you can change everything.
You can change everything. And what was the first question? Actioning system?
Yes, if there's going to be something like scheduled publishment of products.
Auctions.
Like, or auctions.
Like eBay?
Yeah.
Yeah. We want to, that's the other thing, add more hooks for people who want to write that. When some developers here say, I want to write this plugin or extension for Virtuemart too, I'm missing a hook, just contact me. Yeah, we will add the hook. We are going slowly with these hooks and add them when the people need them. There's another shop with 600 hooks, and hooks also slow down the system.
In new Virtuemart 2, can we use all the same payment modules? For example, I have developed a custom payment module. Can I use it in a new Virtuemart?
No, you have to rewrite it completely. But, when you know how to rewrite it, it goes very fast. It's quite cheap. We're going now to write the plugins.